Okay, so this video is going to show you how to determine in JCampus which 11th grade students are Jumpstart students. Now, when you go into JCampus, these are the three codes that are associated with Jumpstart. So you have CJA, which is Jumpstart Alternative Pathway, and it has in parentheses L1. Then you have CCA, which is Tops Tech Jumpstart Career Diploma. And then you have COJ, which is Career Jumpstart. Okay, the first one is kind of easy to explain. So CGA is Jumpstart Alternative Pathway. Now that L1 really is, I believe it stands for Law 1, but remember it's now called Leap Connect. Leap Connect. So let me go ahead and put that in parentheses. Leap Connect. Now, what that means is this. So let me show you. So when I go to the LDOE website, and let me expand this. Okay, so right here it says Jumpstart students who take Leap Connect. So it says students who take the alternative assessments are eligible towards a Jumpstart Tops Tech Career Diploma. All right, so these are basically, see right here, it says students eligible for the April Dunn Act, so Act 833. So if you have a student that is eligible for the April Dunn Act, that student is able to take the Leap Connect test. So if that student who is under Act 833 is able to take that Leap Connect, then that student, from what I best understand, is going to be under this code, CGA. Then you have these two codes here. Now it's a little bit more difficult to explain. I've asked a couple of guidance counselors, and their explanation is not compatible with each other. So this is what I think it means, and I could be wrong. Okay, so CGA, but regardless, you're going to look at CCA and COG. This is what someone sent me in an email. The code difference is based on if the student falls under Act 833, so that's what we just talked about, that's CJA, Jumpstart's Alternative Pathway, Leap Connect, Law 1, L1, Leap Connect. So that is the April Dunn Act, 833. And depending on if the student is in Jumpstart 1.0 or 2.0. All right, so when you go to the LDOE website, this is what it says. Jumpstart 1.0 course sequence will be available for incoming ninth graders through 2020-21. Okay, so beginning last year, it seems like 2020, 2021, actually 2 years ago, I should say, those ninth graders started in Jumpstart 2.0. So one of these is, I would imagine, based on this explanation, is Jumpstart 1.0, and the other one is Jumpstart 2.0. I still don't know which one's which. But it doesn't matter. With all this explanation I just gave you, you're going to look for these three codes, CJA, CCA, and COJ. Okay? All right. Now, talk to your guidance counselor to see if they can explain coherently which students would be classified as CJA, which Jump students would be classified as CCA, and which Jumpstart students would be classified as COJ. Okay, now, knowing all this, knowing those three codes, here's what you're going to do. Okay, so pull this over, and so you're going to log into JCampus. So https://ebr.edgear.net/JCampus. All right, so then this shows up. So you sign in. All right, and then we'll log in. No idea what that is. Let's see. Maybe I did the password incorrect. Let's do it again. All right, let's do it one more time. All right, let's try it again. Okay, so now I'm in. Okay, so what you want to do is right here where it says search programs, you're going to click on that and you're going to search for Alpha Recruit. So ALPHA space recruit. Let's just do alpha then. Let's do alpha. All right, so there's no spaces, just Alpha Recruit, one word. All right, so just do alpha and look for Alpha Recruit list. Okay, so that shows up right here, and I put this as one of my little favorites right here. All right, and so when I did that, it put the little favorite here in JCampus. See up here? So this part here, right here. So if I go right, let me X out just to show you. So if I go here on the favorite, you see it says Alpha Recruit. So I just click on that. Okay, so then this is going to show up. All right, so you want your grade to be 11 because you're interested in 11th grade Jumpstart students, right? So you're interested in those because remember, for the 11th grade Jumpstart students, if they've never taken if they've never taken the WorkKeys test, LDOE will pay for them. Okay, for first time test takers. So if they were 11th grade last year, and they're 11th grade this year, LDOE will not pay for them if this is their second time taking the WorkKeys test. Okay, keep that in mind. All right. Okay, so make sure this is grade 11. Your school should show here. All right. So just if it doesn't, just find your school. Just scroll down until you find your school. And all right. And then you say, okay. Now right here where it says column, here's what I want you to do. So where it says column, I want you to click on student name. You're going to need the student name, right? Click on the student local ID. That's that SIDNO, the student local ID. All right, scroll down. So that's two things so far. Student name, SIDNO. Then you need the grade level. I want you to use the grade level just to make sure they're grade 11. All right, grade 11. And then scroll down. You're going to need the state ID number, so the LASID, SASID. All right, scroll down. And then you may want to, let me go a little bit further down. You may want to also include whether the student's SPED. Okay, and remember, SPED includes students with disabilities. It includes gifted. Okay, so it's not just students with disabilities. So any student has, special education. So SPED, special education. I would also include 504 and LEP. Okay, so those three things. So let's go over this again. Include student name, local ID, SIDNO, grade level, the state LASID number, so SASID, and then include SPED, 504, and LEP. Okay, so then we're going to say okay. So then all these columns will show up here now. Okay, notice we're doing alpha, and you're going to put in alpha order. So from if you do this, you can do alpha order, grade order, and all that. Just do alpha order from alphabetical order. Okay, all right, it defaults to that probably. Okay, so now I want you to go to filters though. All right, so go to filters. Okay, so right now I have, remember COJ, CJA, CCA. If you put all three together, you really won't know which one's which. You won't know whether the Jumpstart students classified as COJ, CJA, or CCA, because I did that and I couldn't tell. So what I would do then is just remove all three and just keep one at a time. So let's just do, for example, CCA. All right, so those Jumpstart students that are TOPS Tech Jumpstart Career Diploma. All right, so I'm going to say OK. So only CCA showing up. Leave everything as all right here. Keep the current date, today's date, and then do OK. So when you do OK, okay, do OK again. When you do OK, then it doesn't take long. So these are at this school, these, see where it says 11th grade students? These are the 11th grade students that are in TOPS Tech Jumpstart Career Diploma. Okay? All right, so then let's do the other one. So I'm going to go back, and I think there is no, oh, and if you want to print it, see right here it says print. So click on print, and then do it as a spreadsheet or a PDF. Most people will do it as a spreadsheet. You say print, and it's going to download right here. You open it up, and it's, for me, I think okay, it's opening up here. Okay, so there's that spreadsheet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and X out of that. I'm going to X out of that. All right, now I don't think there is an easy way to get back to that other page. So let me see. Let me just go ahead and just click on that URL again. Changes you made will not be saved. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and reload. All right. So yeah. All right. So that's not great. So maybe I'm not. There's probably an easy way. I just am not using it. But you probably know of an easy way to get back to that page without having to sign in again. But let me just sign in again. All right, so I'm signing in again. All right, so now, so we did CCA, right? So let's do the other one. So again, I'm going to go, I already saved it as one of my favorites. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do Alpha Recruit List. And it's going to keep the information I want to say. See, school is kept, student, all this information is kept. I'm going to go to filters now. So instead of doing CCA, let's this time do, let's see, let's this time do, so I'm taking CCA off, and this time I'm going to do CJA, so Jumpstart Alternative Pathway. So these are, from what I understand, students that are under the April Dunn Act, Act 833, who are going to take the Leap Connect test. All right, so those are not from, I could be wrong here, but those are not Leap Connect students. Those are Jumpstart students who fall under the April Dunn Act, Act 833, who are eligible to take Leap Connect. Okay. All right, so let's go CJA. All right, let me take that comma off. Let me see that little check right here. Take that, uncheck it, and then that little comma came off. All right, so I'm going to say OK, OK, and so there are these students at that school that fall under the Jumpstart Alternative Pathway Leap Connect. All right, and then you go and you do the same thing with the other one. Let me see what happens if I take this off. Okay, well, let's see. All right, so now I can go back to my little heart, do Alpha Recruit, and this time, instead of doing CJA, let's see, which one am I missing? I did CCA, I did CJA, let's do CCA, CJA, oh, COJ, Career Jumpstart. So let's click on that one, say OK. Oops. I don't know if that little comma is going to have an effect. Let's see what happens. I'm going to keep the comma in there. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. All right, so nothing shows up. So it looks like that school has no, there are no 11th grade students that fall under, that code, which was COJ. Okay. All right. So that is how you're going to determine which 11th grade students are considered Jumpstart students for WorkKeys. Now, one thing I got to remind you that we said earlier, and I guess I need to put it here, okay? So LDOE will pay for Jumpstart students to, let me put 11th grade students, 11th grade students. So LDOE will pay for Jumpstart 11th grade students to take the WorkKeys test if this is their first time taking it. All right, so in other words, if you have a second year 11th grade student who took WorkKeys last year, LDOE will not pay for that student. Okay? If you do test that student, and I'm talking about 11th grade, your school is responsible for the cost. All right, so keep that in mind. So LDOE will pay for Jumpstart 11th grade students to take WorkKeys tests if this is their first time taking that test. So if you have a second year 11th grade student who took WorkKeys last year, LDOE will not pay for that student. If you do test that student, that 11th grade student, your school is responsible for the cost. All right, so that should help you to determine how to use JCampus, to determine which 11th grade students are considered Jumpstart students. But remember, those students that you saw on that list, you need to make sure that they have never taken WorkKeys. The only way LD will pay for it is if this is their first time taking the WorkKeys test. Okay, so that is the end of this recording.